Una the bath together. I've forgotten that our handshake.
We used to have one handshake that we are not serious. If you don't work at it, it won't work. Marriage is what you. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hi guys, hello. It's been a long time I've been here.
Yes, you haven't been here in a while.
I have not been here in a very long time.
And me, I just got back.
Yeah, I did GP.
I just got back to YouTube. So welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Praise. This is my husband,
Francis.
Yes. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. I hope that you will subscribe and become a part of the family. If you are a returning subscriber,
you're welcome. We're happy. We don't have shaker for you.
Thank you for coming back. Be sure to like and share this video and drop a comment for both of us. Today is our wedding anniversary, but before I proceed, I typically film about lifestyle, marriage, relationship, family, and tech. And now tech. So today today's our wedding anniversary. We turned 3 today.
Yeah, we turned 3 today.
And we just want to, talk about the past 3 years. Yeah. Some of our experiences, our lessons. We hope that this will be useful to someone. We don't have any scripts to go by.
I actually don't have any scripts.
We don't have a script to go by, so we're just going to be freestyling, asking some questions. Let's see where this takes us. So if you are up for this and if this is your vibe, then keep watching. My husband.
Baby girl.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy. I am happy. I'm good.
So it's been 3 years.
Yeah, it's been 3 years. 3 amazing years. 365 times 3.
Yeah. How's it been? How's it really been?
I'm tempted to manufacture a story of
something.
But really it's been good. A lot of learnings for me personally as a human being. I have grown. And I think one of the major highlights for me is I have moved from an individual to a family person, right? So I catch myself thinking and making decisions and asking how would that decision impact my family.
So that's like something that has sort of shifted or something that has changed about you over time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm used to being all by myself.
You were?
I was used to being all by myself, right? Because I mean, as a bachelor and a couple of things, I mean, it's just me, and then maybe my immediate family. But now I want to make a decision and I'm asking, how does that impact my family? And I made the conscious effort from day one to have to check in with my wife before I'm making certain decisions. And that for me, it's not something that I did as a cliche thing that you're asked to do,
that you're expected
to do. I was very conscious from the beginning that I wanted her to be part of my life. And if she was going to be part of my life, that meant that we're going to share lives together. And decisions that impact the family are, joint decisions. There are times when there's certain decisions that I want to make and I run it by her, and she's not really clear, and I'm just like, okay. I trust your judgment, you understand. There's certain decisions that she wants to do and she runs it by me, and I'm like, I'm like, okay,
you might not necessarily have a strong opinion on it.
But I think that's one of the major highlights for me the last 3 years. I have transitioned from just being an individual It's actually being a family person. So.
You're not a family man.
Oh yes, I'm now a family man. This is my first child, my wife. I'm now a family man. I think that's one of it.
Okay.
So what about you?
Well, so the past 3 years have been very interesting. I have, of course, grown.
Okay.
Should I even face you? I have grown. I understand a couple of things better now.
Okay.
I have a good idea of what it means to not live for yourself alone. You know, it's also in line with what you said about like making decisions. There are things that sometimes I ordinarily don't want to do, even for myself. But when I remember that there's somebody else involved, yes, somebody else who I care about, somebody else's well-being who is sort of my priority, I push myself and go the extra mile to do it. And to be very honest, it has also been easy to do that over and over and over again, because I know without a shadow of that doubt that is also something that you will do if you were in my shoes. So, I mean, I try to do my own best, but it's really easy when the both of you are on the same page.
Yeah.
And you can like feed off of each other's energies and take cues from, you inspire me. Do you understand? There are some things that, but there are some decisions that I need to make, like sometimes even very seemingly little decisions, like I'm not in the mood to get up to get something to eat, I just want to sleep like that. And I realized that without thinking, and this is not even me consciously thinking too much, it's just a thought at the back of my head that my husband, he will typically do this for me. You know, if I'm out and I'm to come back late, I know that he will typically do this and this for me. And I mean, it won't take me anything to you know, do it. These 3 years have also shown me that if you want to, you will.
Oh yes.
If you really want to,
you will.
You will. If you put your heart and your mind to it, you will. The kind of home I have is the kind of home I've always dreamed of and more. Before I got married, I wanted my home to have a certain atmosphere, and not just aesthetically, like an aura such that when you come into my home, you don't need anybody to tell you that love lives here. Well, there are certain things that when you walk into this home, you know that we don't do that here. Yes, you just know that we don't do that here. There is a certain aura, and I've always wanted that for my home. A home also where there is mutual respect, not just the woman respecting the man because he's the head of the home, but the woman also being able to learn respect from the man as the leader of the home. Do you understand? There are certain things that, like I've said already, I see you do and it inspires me. Even with your kindness towards me, I think I've become kinder, to be very honest. But I think I have grown, and it's mostly because I have watched you being kind to me, even when you were right to not be kind. Do you understand? Even when it was your right for you to not be kind to me, you went out of your way to be kind to me. So it has inspired me to also learn that. So it's been a beautiful 3 years. It's been a lot of growth. It's been a lot of, you know, partnership working hand in hand. It's been a lot of goal smashing. Like, it's the power of two. You know, when the Bible says that two shall chase 1,000, no, one shall chase 1,000, two shall chase 10,000. It's been, I internalized that belief before I got married.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Yes, I internalized it. Like, I held on to it, that one shall chase 1,000, and it has really manifested in our lives. We have grown, and God has been so faithful.
Yes, God has been very faithful.
God has been so faithful in our careers, in our personal lives, in our, you know, our mind, even the way we see things and perceive things. we have grown in these 3 years? I can go on and on, but let's.
I've forgotten that our handshake.
We used to have one handshake that we are not serious. Okay,
Well.
so what would you say are some of the habits? Because having a healthy relationship and a happy home does not happen in isolation.
Oh yes.
It doesn't fall upon you.
Yeah.
You can read all the meals and bones and on at people's pictures and do God willing from now till tomorrow. But if you don't work, let me just chip in this lesson. If you don't work at it, it won't work. Marriage is what you put into it. Whatever you are seeing is what the both of you have put into that marriage. So, but it then means that we have been practicing a couple of things. For us to have gotten here, there are certain things that we've been practicing. You know, for you, what would you say some really key things or key practices? What would you say are some of the key practices that we have had that, you know, is giving us kind of result we have today?
Wow, that's a very deep question. Okay, so I have a number of them, but I'll just streamline it to just about 3 of them.
Okay.
You know, before we got married, there was this, I think it was a marriage seminar we were listening to or something. I can't remember where we heard this. Una they bath together.
Is that one in church?
Yes. Una they bath together. You know, it was very hilarious the day we heard it, but you know, that has formed part of I would say a habit. Like a ritual. We do our best to bathe together as often as possible within the week. It's not just about the act.
Yes.
Now, when we bathe together, we talk.
So I was going to say that if you are a working couple, especially living in Lagos, you would understand how it is important to take advantage of every moment you have, especially if you guys are both like really growing in your career and doing really well. It means that your office or your workplace is rewarding you. Exactly. If you're like high flyers, it means that like your company is rewarding you with more work.
Actually.
You would understand how you need to take advantage of every time you have to build your relationship.
Yes. I have realized that on the days when maybe there's a misunderstanding and we bathe together, we cannot rub bodies with each other and then, do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that act of bathing together is something that may seem very mundane, but it's actually very, very critical. Right? Very, very critical.
Right.
You know, that's one. Another part is we do not withhold love.
That's my favorite point.
Right?
I would have been my own number one.
We do not withhold love from each other. You know, it's a rule giving in our house. So I'll give you a typical example. So maybe myself and my wife, like maybe we'll have a bit of disagreement or something, and you know, she goes into the kitchen to make food, something. The fact that we are not in talking terms, in quotes, for that moment, does not mean that I will not follow her into the kitchen and go and stay with her. And even if you just go and carry the chair and just sit down and just be looking at her and before you know what's happening.
No, just give me more onions.
You just give me more onions and slice this one for me. Or just like it just, or maybe we had a bit of disagreement and then we went to bed. You know, because the reality is good advice. You know, when you're getting married, tell you don't go to bed angry. It's good advice, but it's not always realistic.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, another example is, we went to bed the night before, we're okay. Woke up in the morning, went into the office, I was working, and then all of a sudden she wakes up, and then the door opens. She comes with breakfast and puts it on the table. My dear, I could not continue working.
Of course.
I had to go and make peace.
The Bible says, love your enemies with coals of fire.
Do you understand? And then, so...
but that's not the
intention. So, do not withhold love. For us, is a rule that says, no matter how I feel in the moment, it does not overrule who you are to me.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
That's the literal meaning of what do not withhold love is in our home. And believe me when I say it has worked wonders. It's been one of the secret source of conflict resolution. It's been the peace, essentially. And then the last but definitely not the least is how we manage our finances. Wow. See, don't marry who you don't trust. There's no point. You will suffer. It will take its toll on you. Trust me. You'll be unnecessarily miserable.
Yes, it's
right? It's unnecessary. It's very unnecessary. So the way we manage our finances. Now, when we started the budgeting system that we currently have run in our home, it was not easy. You know, when we finished the budgeting system, we looked at each other.
So for the first few months, after budgeting, because we budget every month, after budgeting, we would need to just relax.
We'll just go and relax.
Everyone just go their separate ways.
I'll
just maybe go to the fridge, take cold water.
Take water and just drink.
Go outside the balcony, take air because.
Do you understand? But it has become easier.
Yes.
As the months had gone by, now. We don't even spend as much time as we used to.
Yeah, we have a
functional system, and we have seen the incredible impact that it has had on our finance. We have a functioning family finance.
We have a commonwealth.
We have it. Do you understand?
But we will not expound.
We will not expound. There is a commonwealth, and I think that for me. Whenever I think about it, I feel very fulfilled and happy as a married man and as a husband, because that was one of the things I had decided from the very beginning, that I was going to be transparent in my marriage to the point of my financials. Because there was no point getting married to somebody whom I would not be transparent with.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make, I sleep unconsciously.
I don't know what's
going on around me. So if I cannot trust this person, honestly, and that's my personal philosophy. I'm not making it a rule, but there's no point. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? There's no point. So, these three things are things that I would say are the things that we practice, that, and there are many other things. I'm sure maybe as my wife talks about, she will highlight a number of other things, but these things, wow, these things. So what about you?
So for me, some of the practices that have helped to sort of strengthen our bond, we have a sort of like a rule book of non-negotiables. Some of which he has already talked about around not taking love away. That is also one of the aspects in which I have really grown, especially in this third year, because what we did was to consciously practice that point in this year. So I'm typically the kind of person that if I'm unhappy with him, or if I have a disagreement, I don't want to have anything to do with you in that moment. And in fact, I don't want to see you. But
you see me.
But learning to love. Love is an action word.
It's a verb.
It's
not a noun.
Yes. So that practice has really brought that to life for me. That love is a verb, and we have these things documented. I think another thing that has really helped is part of the practices that we have written down is, no matter what happens, we're sleeping on the same bed. We moved last year from our former house to a bigger apartment, and before we moved to the house, we sat with each other and told each other that no matter what happens, nobody's sleeping anywhere apart from our bed. We will sleep there. Whether our bodies touch, whether we cuddle, that one is up to our ego and our whatever. But it will happen. And we have stuck to it. Yeah. We have practiced it. We also have a culture of mutual respect. Luckily for us, we don't fight dirty. it's never so bad that we have to exchange words. But there are times where you can throw subtle words at each other that in that moment, because you feel hurt, you want to hurt back. We don't use, there are certain non-negotiable words that we don't use in this home. No matter how angry you are, we do not disrespect each other. Like I think I was telling you the other day that I have built so much respect for you that even in my mind, if there are certain thoughts I cannot have about Francis, there are certain thoughts I do not entertain. And even when I'm pissed, when I'm angry, when I'm not happy about some things, I do not entertain those thoughts.
Yeah.
I do not. Those are some practices that have helped. And then we talk. We do. That goes without saying. In fact, I think that goes without saying, but we talk a lot. When I asked this question, I already knew what Francis's responses were going to be. I can anticipate a lot of things. I have an idea on what Francis thinks about literally almost everything. Or else, for some funny reason, we've not had a conversation about that. But we talk about literally everything. Everything. And then some of my favorite memories are when we maybe talk into the night. Sometimes we want to sleep. We're really tired from work. We've sort of rounded off for the day and we need to sleep, and conversations just start. You see those conversations, you don't even want to move an inch because you don't want to interrupt those conversations. Like even when you need to pee or take water, sometimes it gets to the point where now you need to maybe drink water or eat a snack because we're not sleeping anytime soon. We carry each other from the bedroom to the kitchen and we continue the conversation because you don't want a situation whereby you go, you come back and the conversation it happens like that sometimes. Yes, the conversation, the flow has gone. So those are some of my most interesting fun memories. I think there was a night we woke up, we heard a sound. It was a very funny sound.
No comments. No comments.
I woke my husband up. I was like, what's going on? Can you hear what I'm hearing? And we just couldn't sleep and we talked into the morning. Of course, it was not an easy day because the time we're supposed to sleep, we're talking, but we would not take that back for anything.
Yeah, we would not actually.
We will not take that back.
We will not take that back for anything. Yeah, I think, an additional one is, and I think this is actually, very critical, is we let each other into our lives.
Yeah.
So for me, I had been one man mopo when in Nigerian parlance it means, it's just you and you alone.
Yeah.
So I had always been used to sorting out my issues myself, trying to get
same with me, funny enough.
But one of the practices that has helped us is when I'm going through something, whatever it is, right? I have learned how to let my wife in.
And
do you understand?
And that learning, so I think this is a whole video that we can do.
Yeah.
That learning to let me in. Francis, so you know how people say I married my best friend? I legit removed him from the friend zone and turned him to husband.
Thank you.
I did not, Francis was legit my best friend.
Yeah. But
when we got married, we had an adjustment period.
Exactly.
Yeah, where we sort of, I don't know what I would say, forgot.
I think we were caught in the web of husband and wife.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That we sort of forgot to be friends, or we put our friendship to the back burner because I was obsessed with being the wife, taking care of the home. My husband wanted to be a husband, and we just sat down with each other and be like, I'm my friend first though. Yeah. We are friends first. And my husband was so consumed with, wanting to be a good husband, trying to provide for his family, ensuring that everything was okay, trying to think ahead. And I remember we had a conversation and I was like, I'm your friend. I'm your wife, but I am your friend. We had to work. We had to intentionally we had to take some time to intentionally work on building our friendship again,
exactly.
very consciously.
Very
It required. It was so. I don't know. It was so intentional to the point that, so at that point I used to go to the office almost every day. So I'd drive to the office. On my way back, I would go to Francis's office to pick him up, and that was the longer route. So if you know anything about Third Mainland, there were times I didn't have any business with Third Maryland axis, but because of Francis, and he did not ask me, I would just do this on my own. I'd go to his office and pick him up, because the conversation we would have in the car from the office to the house. I mean, the day would still be fresh at that time, so we'd catch up with each other, you know, as opposed to coming home, sleeping off before he comes back, and just, again, if you are a couple, a working couple living in Lagos, it's, if you are not very intentional about your marriage, you just wake up one day and discover that you are living with a stranger. So you telling me, you getting to the point where you were letting me in, we also had to work on that. I also had to work on that. I mean, ensure that whatever it is that he's going through, I sort of had to give him the assurance that I can handle it.
Yeah.
It's me and you together. And it's something I tell Francis. Again, this is a whole video on its own. I grew up, and this is not to hurt anybody's sensitivities or to come off as being insensitive. This is not to be disrespectful either. But I have a lot of friends whose fathers are late. I grew up not knowing any of my grandfathers. I know so many people whose fathers are no longer alive, and all you have to do is look around you and you'd see the ratio of, you know, fathers to mothers that are alive. And I mean, I just sort of looked around and studied the pattern around me, and I told Francis, so in one of these days where we're trying to, you know, still to go back to build our friendship and recreate trust again, not that trust was broken at any point, but you just needed to build it at different seasons in life. And I told him, allow me to help you. I am your helpmate. I need you to understand the fundamentals of my ministry as a wife and respect it enough for you to let me in. I also need you to trust the decision you made in getting married to me, because you're a smart guy. You knew what you wanted in life. I fit that description and you went after it. Now we are here. You want to carry life all by yourself. I am not going to be a widow. I am not. This load, I did not come here to, I'm not for decoration. That's something we used to say a lot in our friendship. I'm not for decoration. Allow me to help you. And there was one extra thing I told Francis to drive the point home. And he said, okay. If that's the point, okay, I'm going to stop. I told him, I said, see, I'm not going to be a widow. And if anything happens to you, I will marry another man.
That one.
I need you to picture that and adjust accordingly.
And I just said,
Francis said, it have not reached like that though. I cannot imagine you with another one. I cannot imagine you with another one. I said, good, then sit up. If you are telling me things that you feel like I do not have the capacity to handle, tell me. Like, don't, you see all these things where they say, men don't talk. We don't do that here. Yes, we don't do that here. This is our home. Here, we are partners with God. We are co-creators. We will create what we desire.
Exactly.
Yes, we will create what we desire. We'll give ourselves feedback. We'll help each other grow. And we'll become exactly what we want to become. So, whatever it is that you've heard about this stereotypical African man, please drop it outside. And then come in here and let us create our heaven and be happy. And luckily for us, the both of us have worked together. You know how the Bible says that can two work together except agreement is such a powerful thing. We're having a conversation this morning.
Yeah.
And I was telling Francis that I don't think there is one secret to a great marriage. But if there is, I would say that it's two willing parties. If two people are willing to work at it, there's nothing that they cannot surmount.
I agree.
Absolutely nothing.
I absolutely agree, right? Like, you see that part of two willing people. You know, the last point I was actually going to make around the practices is, you know, your words carry significant impact on your partner. So when you tell your partner what's going on with you, because this has happened multiple times, right? In our beginning of marriage. So sometimes I'll wake up in the night or something, and I'll just observe that my wife is just praying over me, and I do that too as well. Like, and maybe when she tells me about something that she's finding it difficult, and I will just, so I don't just pray in that moment and leave it. Do you understand? So I'm like, when I remember, I'm like, I just say a word over it. So you do not underestimate the impact of having someone who has your back 100%.
Who you are top of
Who
mind.
you are top of mind.
So what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to more years of growth. More years of beautiful experience as a married person. I look forward to what my marriage will be like when I'm 35 years in marriage, 40 years in marriage. I hold the philosophy that marriage is easy, honestly. And it's something that I would rather not explain, right? And I'll just have you experience it, But really, there are a lot of people who are really happy in their marriage. And honestly, I wish my marriage on anybody.
I do. Happy anniversary, my love.
Happy anniversary, baby.
I'm looking forward to, like you said, more years of beautiful experiences.
Yeah.
More years of allowing God display His splendor through this home.
Yeah.
More years of, in our own little way, showing people that this is possible.
Yeah. Marriage is a beautiful thing, honestly. It is a beautiful thing. And, marriage really changes people.
It does.
Marriage
See me now. I'm now gentle.
Marriage changes people, it's just that where the pendulum will swing to depends on the people in the marriage. And not marriage in itself. Whether you change for the best or for the worst depends on the both of you, not just on marriage itself. Because I have become a better person by being married.
So how Tony Robbins says that there is no better form of character development than marriage. If you allow marriage, so marriage is not supposed to break you or humble you or any of that thing. But if you allow marriage walk in and through you, you eventually come out a better person. And you reflect in other areas of your life.
Yeah.
How I was telling you the other day that I feel like in families where everybody is happy in their marriage, it's easier for them to be happy with each other.
Of course.
Because so something happened with myself and my brother. I love my siblings. We're very close to our siblings. And my brother called me one time when he was getting married and something was happening. I needed to rant. And me too, I was dealing with my own stuff, so I gave it to him. I didn't really listen, and I responded. And he just said, okay, no problem, bye-bye. Typically, if that happens with Francis, I know how I would react. I wouldn't want it to just go like that. I would go back, apologize, try and listen, ask him, do you want my opinion? Do you want me to just empathize and sympathize with you? I took that exact same thing and replicated it with my brother. I called him back. I was like, okay, I know you are sorry. I'm sorry about the way I responded. And I did, it was subconscious. It was after I did, I realized that this is what I would typically do with my husband. Yeah. And now I'm doing it with my brother. So imagine like all of us that are siblings are allowing ourselves to get better through marriage. It goes without saying that our relationship as siblings will be better. And all these situations where you have brothers not talking to brothers, sisters not talking to sisters, it won't happen. So I feel like, and even at work, if you allow marriage to work in and through you, it shows in every aspect of your life. In every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's typically it.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for your good wishes.
Yes.
Please say a prayer for us in the comment section.
And I really pray that people who are truly desiring to have very good relationships, I honestly pray for you from my heart that you will experience what it means to love someone and be loved in return. Really, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah.
All right. If you have come this far, thank you for watching.
Very much for watching.
Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like. If you'd like to see more videos of myself and Francis
Please
talking
tell
about
us-
marriage, please
tell
let
us
us
in the
know.
comment
If there are
section.
topics in particular
Whether
you would
you
like
want
us to
talk
touch on,
about,
yes,
please
please
feel
let
free.
us know as well.
Yeah. Or
Happy
send us private
anniversary.
messages if you don't want to put it on the interweb.
Yes, I will. So I have my Gmail, my email, and our Instagram linked. So if you have questions, we're happy. You can drop it in the comment section if that's your thing. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary, my love.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you for making my life easy.
的光，你的长得过分美丽，只有我越来越对你过分着迷。